Alright guys, so today's video is going to be prepping your lip and painting it for install. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is get like a light grit sandpaper or a sanding bar like this, and we're just going to go over the lip lightly. You're just wanting to rough it up a little bit to give the paint something to stick to, because as you can see right here where I haven't scuffed yet, it's really slick. And then right here we've got some little swirl marks and stuff, and it just roughs it up a little bit to where there's something for the paint to grab a hold of too. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to the whole lip, and then I'll be right back with you guys to do the next step. Alright guys, so now you can see, trying to get it in the camera, you can see how it's kind of scuffed up now, and that's just going to give somewhere for the paint to go. You can see it right in here. So now we're going to go to the next step. Okay guys, so the next step, Automotive Touch Up says to use a hot soapy rag and wipe down the lip before you use their prep solvent. So if you guys have watched my last video where I was unboxing all the Automotive Touch Up stuff, then you'll know what I'm talking about, the prep solvent. And if you haven't watched that video yet, there should be a thing pop up on the side of the screen right now or at the top of the screen, and you can hit and watch that video first so you know all the paint stuff that I'm using and where I got it from. So I'm going to go ahead and take this rag. I just put some Dawn dish detergent on it and some hot water, and I'm going to wipe down the lip first with this, and then I'm going to use the prep solvent that I ordered with the paint. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so now after you do that, just dry all the soapy water and stuff off with a paper towel. Okay, so now after you've wiped it down with soapy water, now you're going to take their prep solvent and use it next to clean, as the instructions say on the back of the paint. So we're going to go ahead and do that now.
And her heart is breaking in front of me. If I have a choice, 'cause I won't say
Okay, so now we got our lip hung up in the makeshift paint booth, and now we're going to go ahead and take our adhesion promoter and go ahead and spray it on the lip. This was another extra thing that I bought just to make sure the paint turns out good. So there's what it looks like. So now we're going to go ahead and start spraying this on the lip. Okay, so now we're done with the first coat of the adhesion promoter, and it says to do 2 coats of this with 5 minutes time in between the 2 coats. So we're going to go ahead and put the second coat on there now. Okay, so now we've waited 10 minutes and let the adhesion promoter dry, and now we're going to go ahead and use our sandable primer. Now this is an optional step. You don't have to do this. You can go ahead and put your base coat right over top of the adhesion promoter, but I went ahead and I ordered this anyway because I wasn't sure if you could do your base coat over the adhesion promoter or if you needed to do the primer. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the primer for more stability and to have another coat. So we're actually going to use 3 coats of the primer, and it says to go 5 to 10 minutes in between each coat. So now we're going to go ahead and get into this step of painting the lip. Okay, so now we've waited the 10 minutes, and now we're going to go to the second coat of the primer. Okay, so now we've waited our 10 minutes, and now we're doing our third and final coat of the primer. Okay, so now that the primer has set for 30 minutes and it's good and dry, we're going to go ahead and take it down and wet sand it to get all the little imperfections out of it before we put our base coat on. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. Okay, so for the wet sanding, I went and picked up some 600 grit sandpaper. That's what it says on the back of their cans to use on their primer. So now we're going to go ahead and wet sand it, and then we'll start putting down the base coat. Okay, so now that you have it wet sanded the way you want it and got all the imperfections out of it, you're just going to take a wet paper towel or wet towel, just water, no soap, and just get everything off of it. So like if the primer the primer kind of gets milky and like a drywall type stuff, and you're just going to wipe all that off and make sure it's good and slick. And then after you get it good and wiped off, you just let that air dry. You don't wipe dry it. Let it air dry so that way there's no lint or anything on it. And then we're going to go ahead and do the base coat. Okay, so after you get everything wiped off, sometimes you'll still have like maybe some little hairs and stuff on the lip. So I just went ahead and took a spray bottle with water in it, and we're going to go around and spray and let the water run and pull everything else off of it, and then let that dry, and then we'll put the base coat on. Okay, so now we've waited 10 minutes, and this is going to be the second coat of the base. Okay, so we've waited another 10 minutes, and this is going to be the third base coat. Okay, so on this coat we waited 15 minutes just to give it a little bit of extra drying time. And this is going to be our fourth coat. Okay, so we used 4 coats of the base coat, and now we're going to go ahead and go into the clear coat. Okay, so we've waited 15 minutes because on the clear coat it says to wait 10 to 15 minutes. And now we're going to go ahead and put our second coat of clear on. Okay, so we've waited another 15 minutes, and we're going to do our third coat of clear coat. Okay, so we've waited another 15 minutes and we're going to go ahead and lay down our 4th coat of clear coat. Okay, so we've waited another 15 minutes and this will be our final clear coat, and this will be the 5th clear coat. Okay, so as you can see, I've changed clothes, so we've let this sit overnight, and it's dried to the touch now. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show some pan shots after I get done talking to let you guys see the paint job. And then we're going to take it down, and it's ready to install in the car now. So I'll see you guys next time when we're installing the lip. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more great videos.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling. Bitch, I'm humbling, keep mumbling. I'll keep doubling, you keep bluffing. You've got nothing, I'll keep hustling.